This is video 4 about basic tatting techniques, and this time we're going to look at making a circle. You can see here that this motif, which it will be eventually, is a series of circles joined by a series of chains, and you can see all the picots. We've noticed that before. So what I'm going to show you now is a circle. Now this one starts off with a circle, but I've got a chain first and then I'm going to add the circle to it. So we have our chain, which I produced in the last video. There we are. Now we're going to do a circle, but before we do that you've got to reverse the work, so you have to turn it upside down. In other words, so that the stitches and the picot are pointing downwards. And then the circle is created, is just made by using the shuttle thread alone. So you need to get more thread out from your shuttle in the usual way. You need to have the thread right the way round your left hand. Can you see that? And you need to hold in this case, the last stitch of that chain plus the thread from the shuttle between your thumb and your forefinger. And again, you need enough thread. I haven't got quite enough here, so that you can have it round your little finger of your right hand and be able to manipulate the shuttle. Okay, now we're going to do the first half of the next double stitch. Now here, when you pull it up, it needs to be as close to the end of that chain as you can get it, okay? And then if we do the second part of the double stitch, we bring it up to it like that. And so you keep going according to what the pattern says, or indeed according to what you fancy doing. So I'm just making this up as I go along, so that I get a few stitches on here and I can show you what we do with it next. We're actually going to close it up, and when the instructions say close, it means you close the ring up. So just a few more double stitches and then we'll close it. Okay, so we've got a number of stitches and picots there. So what you do to close it is you hold the end, the last stitch, gently between your thumb and your forefinger, but not too tightly, because you're pulling on this shuttle thread. Can you see that's now reducing here? So you pull and you pull, you keep hold of that last stitch, you keep pulling, and sometimes this is where it can get difficult, particularly with these thick threads, and you pull it so that the beginning and the end of the ring join, and that's a ring. Now if you want to do another chain to join them together, you'll have to again reverse the work like that, so that your chain, oops, get the thread in the right place. It's what they'll look like when you're finished, so you have to just turn it like that. And when you're working a chain, then the points have to be upwards of the previous chain. So again, I'm going to just do a few stitches. Now here again, this time you've probably got to reduce the amount of thread that you've got out of your shuttle in order to make it comfortable. So first part of the first double stitch, again as close as you can to what's there. Second part up to it, and so you keep going with your chain, and that's what it looks like. I haven't got that quite as tight as it needs to be. I think I haven't pulled that first chain quite as much, quite as close together as it needs to be, so that's not perfect, but it gives you the idea. It's always constantly trying to move these stitches around so that they look good.